Hi guys, so this is a vlog. This is like I've been probably 2 hours here trying to explain to you guys what the hell I'm talking about. This is a vlog. I'm gonna be sharing with you a change that I'm making within my business and my availability that is going to be more beneficial for me and will allow me to be more available to people here and to refocus on content creating, which is what I really enjoy and what has brought my success. My success with my business is because of YouTube, period. My subscribers are the reason that I'm able to do what I do full time. And I have found that over like the past year or so, probably a little bit more, it's like I continuously get pulled away from YouTube and being able to create content here. And it's just, I have to cut out the distractions basically. So I'm going to be talking about a shift I'm making and why and how it affects me personally a little bit, but why it's for the greater good and why it's divinely guided. And it might be helpful for you if this is something, this is like a learn from my mistakes type of thing. What the hell am I talking about? I have deleted Twitter. I have deleted my Twitter and I do not see myself creating another Twitter. And that is very hard for me because not many of you, but maybe some of you, if you follow me on Twitter, I post on Twitter every day. Twitter was very fun for me. It was a fun outlet for me and it was a way for me to channel that was like easy and quick and I could just get the messages out. But honestly, the good that came out of my Twitter versus the negative energy, crazy. It's not even like it. The amount of negative energy I was getting from Twitter is like affecting my personal life, is affecting my business, is affecting my ability to be on YouTube for like what, 100 followers? No, that's stupid. Why? Okay. So social media Social media is a portal. Social media is a way for people to connect with you, to connect with your energy, without having to do much, without having to leave their house. They just have to have a phone or a computer, internet access, a phone connection. The problem is like knowing your audience, I guess, being aware of the energy you're putting out and the energy that you're getting back. And that's something that you have to really be aware of with social media is because, social media can be kind of a dark place. There's a lot of bullying on social media. There's stalking, there's harassment, online harassment, and it's a way for a lot of narcissistic individuals to hide behind a mask, to pretend to be somebody that they're not. I mean, they can catfish people to pretend to be a whole different person. It's just social media is a great way to, have an outlet to connect with other people, but it does bring a lot of negative energy and it's important to kind of recognize what sort of energy you're getting. So, the problem that I had with Twitter is that Twitter started as just a way for me to be goofy, silly online, to vent sometimes and just to have like an outlet. And I've always kind of been the person that I feel like, I don't know. I could have made it private, but people make fake profiles, People make fake profiles. I get stalked a lot. I have a lot of people that stalk me. And a lot of those people are narcissists, are people that benefited from my energy, which I have a lot of energy, and I have kind of a weird, big personality, kind of. I've had a lot of people in my life that have tried to attach themselves to me, tried to feed off my energy, take on my personality, steal opportunities from me. I've just that's just been a nonstop karmic cycle I've dealt with throughout my life. And recognizing that a lot of people that were close to me were not nice people. So I've had to get rid of them, set the boundary that I don't want them in my life. But when somebody is narcissistic, they tend to not accept the boundary. They tend to create fake profiles and harass you. And they do this while creating false storylines about you. So, they'll do smear campaigns, try to put out this like negative false image of you where they're the victim. And the problem with social media is that people can find you. Even if your profiles are private, they make fake profiles. They know people that know people that know you. It's just like, it's dumb. It's dumb. The evil eye energy is super dumb. And it's like, almost like the more creative energy you have, the more like light within you that you want to share with others, the more vampires you attract. So I never had a big following on Twitter, and I never thought that it was that big of a deal. It was just one of those things that like, and people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about too, is that I would just be like venting to vent. I would see something and have like input. I'm an opinionated person. And I have ADHD. So I have people that have ADHD. There are other disorders that experience this as well. It's it's called emotional dysregulation. Your feelings are a lot bigger than other people's, and it's hard for you to control them. So I'm the type of person that I don't like to be over emotional. I really don't. I like to feel safe within my emotions, so I don't like to let people know how emotional I am, because when people know that you're emotional, they prey on you. They will make fun of you for being emotional. They will use it against you. They will take the stuff that you do when you're like over emotional to benefit them. And that's just kind of what was happening. I was being stalked by people that I don't want in my life anymore. I was being stalked by third parties, by karmic individuals that have like seen my videos and want to like steal energy from me, want to steal my channelings, want to do spell work on me for no reason because they have mental health issues and project onto others. It's just like, I think you have to know your audience, honestly. And the thing with like putting stuff out there on the internet is you don't really know who's looking at it, and you don't know how they're really perceiving it, because sometimes I'm channeling because I feel your energy, but sometimes I feel your energy and you're pissing me off. So I'm going to intentionally say something to hurt your feelings, because stop stalking me is how I feel. Stop harassing me. Is people harassing you and think that because they're using a fake page, it's not real. It's harassment. Going and looking at somebody's profile. I have somebody that is like a part of my family, and I don't have a relationship with this person because I don't like them. I don't like who they are. They're a really negative person. They intentionally try to harm everybody in the family. It's like anybody that's doing well, they're mean to them. And this person literally harasses me on social media. I have blocked her on everything, and she makes fake pages. She gets on her kids' pages. She harasses me. And then she like will go and tell my mom. She will tell my mom stories she's made up about me from like harassing me. She'll watch these videos too. She'll watch me on YouTube and then go talk shit to my mother about me, like a made up story she's made. She has mental health problems that are unaddressed, obviously. But it's like people like that. It's like, this has nothing to do with you, and you're just making it about you because you're a narcissist. You're obsessed with yourself, and you can't stand the thought that people exist and don't care about you, that you don't matter to other people. I'm not saying that like as you don't matter to anybody, but you don't, like, if you're not in my life and I've told you I don't want you in my life and I've blocked you on everything, like, you don't matter to me. I don't want a relationship with you. Doesn't mean that I'm like wishing harm on you, but it's like, stop trying to insert yourself into my life. It's weird. It's obsessive. It's creepy. It's stalking behavior. It's gross. I don't understand why people do that. And there's something about me and my energy. It's like I can cut somebody off and they will never leave me alone. It'll be people that like I didn't even know. It'll be people that had like one conversation with me once 10 years ago, and we could get into my placements why this happens. A lot of people like project relationships onto me that we didn't have. And you know, there are some people out there that like I had a relationship with them and that was kind of intense, and you know, we never acknowledged that it was intense and it didn't work out. Like I'm not trying to be offensive to those people. I'm saying there are literally people out there that have never met me and think that like we have some sort of like big sister, like little sister relationship, and have like spread lies about me. Like the first thing they do is check my page and I don't know them. I have like, I just attract people that have like a lot of boundary issues and that don't recognize that I'm a person that they don't know. It's weird. And I just had, for some reason, it's just like a lot of it was cultivating on Twitter. And it's because I liked to tweet. It was fun. It was fun to meet people. I had a lot of people that I met on Twitter that were just like really funny people, or like really smart, or, you know, I really liked what they had to say about their journey. They, you know, you meet people that have been on different paths and that have something to offer, and you connect with them. And, you know, that's what I like about social media, because I am currently living in kind of an isolated area. There aren't a lot of people my age that have my sort of interests around here. So I like, and also I'm just very introverted, and I am busy. I'm a really busy person, most of my business. So I don't have a lot of time to get out and meet people, and I don't like to be, you know, bars have terrible vibration. I have to protect my energy because I'm very energy sensitive. There's a lot of things that go into it, and a lot of you guys can understand. Social media is like a good outlet for a lot of introverted people, especially when you're a very creative person and you're opinionated and you like to, you know, share how you're feeling, but you don't really have people in your life that are very supportive of you and your views and how you feel, or really understand what you're saying to them. Which isn't saying that I have a lot of people that support me in my life, but how many people that like understand shamanism and can have conversations with me about like the spiritual world? Not a lot, honestly. So, I don't know, Twitter was just something fun for me to do for a while, but I just found that I was channeling on there because it was like an easy way for me to get channeled messages out in the moment when I had them. It was a way for me to, you know, I'm feeling kind of like stupid right now, let me say something, you know, it's just social media, whatever. But I had too many people. I had a lot of evil eye. I had a lot of people that like hate themselves and are projecting that onto me because, you know, they're mad that am who I am. You know, some people just like don't like the fact that you're confident and that you're funny and you're smart. Some people just are very insecure within themselves. So it's like they see somebody like that and they like try to attach to you in some way and like want to tear you down. And it's just a matter of being a vampire and wanting to feed off of me. And that's just kind of what my Twitter was turning into, was just like vampires, just constant vampires. And I'm the type of person that like, not every person that is vampiric is a bad person. A lot of them just aren't healed, and some of them aren't even fully aware of what they're doing. So I'm trying to find a way to say this because it sounds like I'm like excusing. Not all vampiric people are malicious, malefic people. A lot of them are just kind of don't have boundaries, weren't raised with boundaries, aren't healed enough to be, you know, connecting with people in the way that they're trying to connect with people, and, you know, revert back to childhood coping mechanisms of like bullying, harassment, lying, stealing. You know, they revert back to like A lot of people that experience extreme trauma get stuck in that mental age. So they can be like 20s, 30s, but it's like mentally they're 5. So you correct them in any way, you pull your energy back, you set a boundary with them. They're like gonna throw a temper tantrum and try to make themselves the victim in that situation, attack you, and apply this villain character to you to self-soothe the rejection that they're feeling. And I'm kind of tired of being a mirror for unhealed people, honestly. I'm kind of tired of people harassing me a little bit to take my energy from me, not giving anything back to me, and then trying to paint me as a villain when I set boundaries. So that's kind of like what this is about, is that I've kind of learned recently that I can't channel the way that I want to channel. It's not even the way that I want to channel. I have to make changes in my life on the way that I allow people to access my energy and the ways that I channel. Because I am extremely intuitive and can read people easily. I can read energies really well. So I can feel when somebody is like stalking me. And sometimes when I am not in the mood and I feel somebody that I have already told that I don't want a relationship with you, that I have blocked in some way, or a complete stranger that's kind of like harassing me, I can pick up on that energy. I can pick up on your insecurities and I can let you have it. And that's part of that, is just that's how I am. I'm not going to be bullied. Like you want to try to bully me for no reason, a complete stranger, because you don't like yourself. No. Let me tell you what I think about you. That's kind of how I am. And I know that that's not like the most like saintly, but that's how I am. And I think sometimes people need to hear the way that they affect other people. I think sometimes people need, especially narcissistic people that aren't corrected very often, or that have a lot of people that like support their bullying behavior. Sometimes you need to be told, like, you're acting like an asshole right now. Sometimes I need to be told that I'm being an asshole right now, you know, but it was my personal Twitter is how I felt. So if you are energetically harassing me, I have every right to be like, look here, go fuck yourself. You know, that's how I felt about my Twitter. But it's just between being stalked by people like looking for information, like trying to see what I'm wearing so they can copy what I'm wearing, trying to see how I'm doing my hair so they can copy my hair, trying to, you know, steal my personality, trying to steal music that I like. You know, it's just, narcissists don't have a sense of self. So when they find somebody that they feel like gets the attention that they want, they will try to morph into that person. And as much as I want to be available to, you know, do what I do and connect with others, my social media presence is opening me up too much to narcissistic energy vampires, low vibrational, soulless people that are trying to basically feed off of me. I'm becoming all you can eat buffet, just trying to live my life, which sucks because I really do enjoy just connecting with people on like a personal level, like taking away, you know, the following that I've created, you know, because of my hard work and because of my gifts. And, you know, it's not that I'm not appreciative, but I think sometimes I want to be a person and I don't want to be like, you know, the shaman, the tarot reader, the like, you know, I don't want to be a guru. I don't want to be a political figure. I just want to be me and connect with people as I am. But I'm just finding that it's like the more I try to share, I just can't get away from these karmic energies. It's just karmic. And it's also upsetting to me when, this is something all creators deal with, is when you are a creator, when you're an artist, when you are somebody that creates something and puts it out there that is good and other people like it, people steal it. People steal it. So, you know, people would go and have a bigger following than me on Twitter and would see that I had a small following and would steal my channelings, would steal what I was saying, would try to act like my guides were their guides, were putting out karmic storylines, were putting out lies, where it's just, and I can feel that. Like, I know my guide, and I know my energy. So I can tell when somebody is putting out a message that is resonating with my message because we're on the same wavelength, and when somebody is copying and pasting, you know. And I kept running into that is people that had not good energy, that I didn't think were bad people, but you know, some people you can feel, especially when you're on a spiritual path, that some people are just karmic and they're set in their ways and that's who they are. And at that point you have to make a personal decision is, am I going to allow this person to constantly create chaos in my life because they're karmic and just forgive them constantly? Or am I going to cut them off because they're just toxic and they're always going to be toxic? And sometimes you know, I'm going to love them from a distance because they're toxic and they're harassing me, you know. And some people don't think that there's anything wrong with harassing you because they feel like you're doing well, so they can harass you. And it's like, something doesn't connect, you know. That's something that you can like make a decision on if you want that person in your life. But sometimes when you're like connecting with somebody and you know that they're unhealed and you know that they have a lot of wounds and you know that they're kind of like they're a little bit of a vampire, but you can understand their personal history, that, you know, a lot of people that are vampiric did not have a good family system growing up. Most of them. They did not have, you know, some of them didn't have two parents in the home. They had, one of their parents was abusive. They experienced domestic abuse. They were raised by an abusive person. So you can see them being toxic and like not great, but you recognize that they're wounded and that maybe they just need somebody to be a little bit supportive of them. But I have had to recognize that I don't need to take on a bunch of strays, you know. I don't need to be mama bear to a bunch of like borderline narcissists, hoping that by like with my encouragement and light that I'm giving you, and I know that you're acting out, but I just have that sort of mentality. I met somebody a few weeks ago and he told me that I had like big sister energy, and he was like, just be my big sister, please. But I do have that sort of, I'm the oldest. I have that like big sister energy where sometimes I see people and I'm like, I know you're shady and I know you're like have some issues there and you really need to work on your healing. But I feel like if I am supportive of you and kind of, you know, I just feel like we're all human and I have shit that I need to work on. And that's really how I am, is that like I have never ever said that I'm perfect. I am one to say that I have a lot of things that I need to work on. But the thing is I'm actively working on them. And a lot of people aren't, and they're mad at you because you are, and that you're receiving blessings in your life because you're working on yourself and because you're working hard on yourself. I don't know. I've always had this thing where, one, I give more than I get. And I think that I grew up in Appalachia, where the Appalachian Mountains, where a lot of people don't have running water. A lot of people don't have electricity. A lot of people like have boards and dirt floors. You know, they don't live in a house like you would think. It's like a shack. A lot of people live like that, and that's how I was raised, around people that, you know, it's just, there's the resources, the jobs, what's needed to thrive is not here. So it's always been important to me that I be affordable to people, but I have to kind of take a look at the amount. Like there's a difference between being affordable for what you're providing and being a martyr. And I have to stop sacrificing myself for other people that don't appreciate it, and that even like try to attack me because I didn't sacrifice myself extra for them. You know, it's just so like, it's just what I'm learning is that I can't have social media the way that I want to. I am not going to be sharing openly about my personal life anymore. I'm going to keep a lot of my personal life private and to like me and my close family, close friends. And that's just to protect myself. And I think that that's just how I'm going to have to do it, because the work that I'm called to do is always going to attract people that are unhealed and looking to victimize another person and then play victim about it. So I refuse to play into that storyline anymore. I'm really not. I tweeted about this. I used to talk about shadow worker, that I was a shadow worker, that there's a difference between light workers and shadow workers. And sometimes shadow workers intentionally are meant to trigger other people in a way that light workers don't, so that you can discover your shadow. And the thing is that I have released that hermit contract. I tried to get out of it last year, and I had to like slowly pull out of it because the energy I was giving to some people, it's like they had to have it slowly removed, because if my energy was removed from them all at once, they would have not been able to handle it. Something bad would have happened to them. So I had to like slowly remove my energy from certain people. And part of that is I'm not going to be accessible to them anymore. I'll be here on YouTube, but I'm not going to be doing like life update, you know, this is what's going on in my personal life. Besides like this, where it's just like something I've learned, you know, but I'm not going to be on Twitter telling you guys where I am every weekend and what I'm doing and, you know, sharing stuff, you know, inside jokes with my friends, because it's too much. I'm getting hate that I don't deserve. I'm getting people doing spells on me that I don't deserve. I'm getting people trying to be me, trying to copy me, trying to steal from me. And it's creating so much negative energy, and it's draining me to where I can't do what I want to do, and it's dumb. So that is partially my lesson that I needed to learn, is I don't have to sacrifice myself for other people, and I deserve to get energy back for the energy that I'm giving. And if I'm not, then I have the right to withdraw from that and put boundaries in place. So that's what I'm doing. I will not have a Twitter anymore. I will not. And that sucked, because I enjoyed Twitter and I made friends from Twitter, and I really enjoyed it, but it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. And I can't monitor every single profile that follows me and make sure that they're legit, because it's, you know, some people don't use social media, so they have only a couple, like, you know, followers. And that doesn't mean that they're a fake page, but I don't have time to vibe check everybody all the time, and it's just taking up too much of my energy. So what I'm doing instead is I still get channeled messages that I want to share, and I have a lot of spiritual knowledge that I want to share. But this is spiritual knowledge that I have gained through a lot of time and effort and money on my part. So it's not something that I can really give away for free. And that's also something that I learned through this Twitter thing, is that not everybody needs to know spiritual secrets, the occult secrets. You know, it's the occult for a reason. Some narcissists really don't need to know certain things. Some abusers, some people that really are not on a spiritual path but are looking for shortcuts, they don't need to have occult information, really. They do not. And also, because of my channeling abilities, it's not fair for me to use my channeling abilities to, which I felt like I was defending myself, but lashing out at people, which I feel like if you're stalking me, you deserve it, but I don't want want to do that anymore. You know, I don't want to be a shadow worker anymore. I don't want to, my path, I'm going to trigger people naturally. And I'd rather people be triggered by like my presence than triggered by me intentionally being mean to them to teach them a lesson. I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm not going to. So, not everybody needs to know about the occult. Not everybody needs to hear your channeled messages. Not everybody needs to know what your guides are telling you, because you might have somebody that takes what your guides are telling you and runs and says that it's their guides telling them that, and then they get a bunch of personal readings from people that don't need to be talking to this person because they're karmic. And you know, and you have narcissists that harass you and make up lies about you and will take one thing that you said and think that it's about them because they have an ego the size of like Texas. I'm just not doing that anymore. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care enough to like, I don't need to be seen so bad that I'm going to allow people to use my energy against me, you know, especially my hard work, take away what I've worked hard for and what I deserve. No, I'm not doing that anymore. So, this was a long talk, but I feel better. I feel better explaining this to you guys, that I'm not doing Twitter anymore. I'm not going to be posting. I'm just not. My YouTube videos will continue the way that they're going to be. I share personal stories because that's how I relate with people. That's how I teach. That's part of ADHD. So it's part of who I am. It's how my brain works. I'm not going to like stop sharing, you know, stuff that I've learned throughout my life and being a personable person. But can you inbox me and get me to spend hours trying to work with you for no pay? No, that's not happening anymore. I'm setting boundaries around what I'm willing to share, what I'm willing to do, and how I'm being compensated. So I am going to start making changes, and I'm going to start putting boundaries in place with my energy. So yeah, I am revamping my Patreon. So I will be channeling on Patreon, and I have different tiers available. I have not posted on there yet, guys. So if you want to wait until next month so that you're getting like a whole month's worth, I totally get that. Starting at $3, but you know, the basic tier is not going to be getting what the highest tier gets. So give me some time. You can go ahead and do it if you want to. I'm going to be sharing little stuff here and there, but I'm not really going to be doing like videos and live work with you guys until next month. And that's something that I'm going to start doing too, is I want to do lives. Lives are fun. I want to be able to connect with you guys. I want to be able to like answer questions. And then I have had a lot of people ask me about like being mentored. Like a lot of people want to know when I'm going to be available to mentor. And the thing is like the amount of time and energy mentoring takes, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I would have to charge a lot for it. And I don't know, I just have a thing around it. It's hurt my business quite a bit because I have a thing where I will undercharge literally everything that I do. And then I'm exhausted, and then I can't do YouTube. And so it's hurting me financially because I'm not getting paid for what I'm doing. People are draining the life out of me. And it's like hurting my ability to like, you know, show up for you guys and get new subscribers that resonate with me. It's not working anymore. So if it's not working, you gotta like switch, you know? So that's what I'm going to be doing. That's not going to affect YouTube whatsoever. It's going to make it to where I can post more on YouTube, basically. If you like just my basic readings and this is how we vibe, this is good news for you. If you want to connect with me more, this is good news for you also, because I'm going to start directing people to Patreon. So if you have questions and you want my advice on something, but what you're asking me for is more than just a like free conversation. If you want my availability, you're gonna have to pay for it. And I think that's fine, you know? spiritual work is one of the few like career paths that you'll go on where people are really offended that you want work for free, and people really feel entitled to your time and expertise. So, you know, it's a lesson in setting boundaries, and that's why I thought maybe this talk might be helpful to another person that is you know, trying to do a spiritual business, is that understanding that people are always going to test your boundaries. And rather than seeing it as a, like, I could look at, you know, the amount of money that I've lost from people attacking me and draining the life out of me and preventing me from doing what I enjoy doing and what actually brings money to where I can pay my bills and I can eat. I could be bitter, but I see it as like, this is a major lesson for me. And it's a karmic lesson as well. You know, it's a karmic lesson in limiting your access to people that are just looking to harm you. You know, not sharing your voice with people that are just looking to manipulate your voice to serve them and their false realities they've created off of your back. How to not allow people to use their sob stories to get me to, you know, help them. I have like my housing secured because I'm living with family. If I were not, I would not be able to afford my rent most months because people drain the life out of me and expect, you know, it for free. But it's my fault too, because I've been allowing it to happen. And that's something that, you know, you have to realize, is that you play a part in your codependency. And that if codependency and martyrdom is something that is like severely ingrained in you coming from your ancestors, that's a lesson that you're going to have to constantly overcome. Karmic lessons aren't like a one and done thing. A lot of people feel like you finish this karmic lesson and like, glad that's over. Now it's like that is going to test you over and over and over. And boundaries is something that I really have to work on, is because people constantly pull at me and I've been allowing it to distract me from my purpose, because my purpose isn't to be an all-you-can-eat buffet for energy vampires and narcissists and people that aren't conscious enough to recognize the way that they behave, and that they're creating false storylines. And those false storylines are a form of energy manipulation and spell work, and that's going to come back to them. That's a form of like black magic, is intentionally creating false storylines and getting people to perceive you and another individual in a negative, well, not perceive you in a sympathetic light that you don't deserve, and perceive an innocent individual in a negative light. You are creating dark energy for that person, and you are intentionally blocking good opportunities that that person deserves. That has karma. That carries a lot of karma. Gossip is a form of, if you're a word magician, you still do spell work. You can, you know, tell me that, oh, I've never done, you know, any magic. You go around cursing people by lying and getting, you know, gathering people around with pitchforks to attack somebody that has done nothing wrong. And, you know, and you're also manipulating other people into taking on karmic burdens for you off of fake storylines. So that's heavy energy. I don't need to sacrifice myself anymore. I'm good. I'm really good. I have been through too much in my life, and I have worked on myself, and I have been helpful to other people way too much to allow somebody to destroy something I've worked hard for, and I'm not going to do it. I won't participate in it. So as much as I'm going to miss Twitter, and if you found me on Twitter, we were friends on Twitter, like, love you. I hope that you do well, and, you know, be careful of your energy there is all I can say on any social media platform. I'm going to get negative energy from YouTube. They're going to just transition back to YouTube, but I actually get something out of YouTube. You know, my channel is monetized, so it is what it is. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. because we're moving forward and this is going to benefit you guys. So I'm excited. Patreon's going to be a lot of fun. Like I said, you might want to just wait till next month if you want to, or if you just want to do the $3, you know, whatever. It's a way to give me something back, you know, so that way it's not that I am sharing all of this information and secrets on Twitter. And the problem with sharing them in YouTube is a lot of people have said this to me is like the lessons that you're giving us are getting lost in the reading. So, you know, that's why I started doing my like energy vampirism. Like I did my like Soulful Sundays for a little while. That was a way for me to get out that knowledge, to take it out of a reading and put it in a way where somebody that needed that information could find it. I am probably going to do more of that on Patreon though, because it's like the more energy I get back, and money is energy, the more I can give. So it'll be beneficial for everybody, and it will put me in a position to where I can afford to live, because there is absolutely no reason that I should be doing the type of work that I'm doing and helping people the way that I'm helping people and not making my bills, or making my bills like within a day or two. And honestly, like that is what it is. A lot of people think that like you reach a certain amount of like followers or subscribers and you're just rolling in the dough. It's like, I run a business. A business is expensive. A business is very expensive. And like, I have bills. I don't get what it is. People just think that I have endless amount of time and money and resources to like, you know, give to them for free. And they give me these sob stories about how they don't have money. Like, I don't have money. Why should I work? You know, should I come into your job and tell you what you need to do for me for free? Should I give you my sob story back? Like, get out of here. So I just gotta kind of be that way. I gotta kind of get a little bit tougher about what I'm tolerating from people. And I think that allowing Patreon to be a way that if you can't afford, you know, $100 for an hour session with me, you can afford $7 a month to read channelings from me that I'm giving, and to ask, you know, a question and me give you input. And it'll be a way that respects me too, because honestly, I have always encouraged people to reach out to me for help and to, you know, let me know when they're having problems. And that's something that I enjoy doing. But again, I have to get compensated, guys. I can't work for free anymore. I really can't. And I've been working like 80-hour weeks for free, basically. And that's not from YouTube. Like I'm saying, YouTube is a huge blessing for me. And I haven't been able to be on YouTube because of all this other bullshit that doesn't mean anything, and I'm not getting anything, and it's not progressing me as an individual. It's taking away from me. So I'm not doing it anymore. Period. Okay, guys. I'm gonna start doing readings now. I just needed to kind of talk about it and get it off my chest. You know, I feel better. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.